From CBS News Bay Area, this is the afternoon edition.
Housing is a human right! Housing is a human right!
The fight over clearing homeless encampments taking center stage inside and outside a San Francisco courtroom right now. Good afternoon. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Both sides showing up in full force outside San Francisco's 9th Circuit Court, and we'll get to that story in just a minute. In the meantime, the demand to halt the expansion of robo-taxis, that's getting louder here in San Francisco. This comes as two crashes involving Cruise robo-taxis last week. One of them involved a Cruise robo-taxi colliding with a fire engine responding to an emergency. And today, taxi drivers and labor workers held a rally to call for an end to robo-taxi operations in the city.
We think they're a threat to the health and safety of the people of San Francisco. And also, we believe that the California Public Utility Commission and Department of Motor Vehicles have basically abandoned their responsibilities.
Last week, the DMV announced it asked the Cruise area or the Cruise company to reduce its fleet by half until the investigation is complete.
And in the midst of public safety concerns and many retailers ditching downtown San Francisco, furniture store is bringing a glimmer of hope to the area. Ikea welcomed its first customers this morning. It's located on Market and 5th Street. The store will focus on furniture for those smaller spaces, perfect for San Francisco. And it's a third of the size of the one in Emeryville. It's 85,000 square feet with 27 model showrooms, a cafe, and grab-and-go food court. Just before the grand opening, we spoke to the very first person.
I wanted to come early just to check it out, be the first to arrive before everyone else. I just wanted an early glimpse of it. I am in need of a dresser and a bed.
All right, they do have it there. But the store is located in the same area where so many other stores have decided to leave. At least 22 businesses have closed or announced plans to leave downtown San Francisco this year, including big names like Nordstrom, pulling out of Westfield Mall, Anthropologie, and Office Depot. But Mayor London Breed says the escape from downtown spaces may be slowing down. Yesterday, she told business leaders office attendance is up 38%, and there's a 10% increase in office space demand. And she says she hopes the opening of Ikea will help. But the mayor isn't the only one excited about the opening of Ikea today. Sean Chitnis reports many hope the store will help revitalize that area.
I think it's going to be a great addition to the neighborhood. I personally want to check out the food court.
Philip Saba has lived in San Francisco's MidMarket neighborhood for 8 years. He already has a plan for opening day at Ikea, coming over with a friend to eat at the restaurant and maybe even buy some furniture.
I think as more people come back, the city will in turn become more attractive. And I mean, the city still has a lot to offer.
He's watched his neighborhood decline in recent years, but hopes it can make a turnaround. Right now, he says it's a struggle between businesses and residents to move into this part of San Francisco, with each waiting on the other to make the first move.
I don't go out at night, but I don't feel largely unsafe in the city, and let's face it, I'm pretty vulnerable.
Philip is rooting for this neighborhood. Not only does he think it's a great place for more businesses to join him, it's also one of the most accessible in the city for him with so many flat streets.
I am sticking around. Yes, I am.
Well, the new Ikea store will employ about 100 people, and signs are up for the store to hire even more. Some good news there.
Well, now back to our top story. The fight over clearing homeless encampments taking center stage inside and outside a San Francisco courtroom right now. Our Lauren Toms reports at issue is the injunction restricting the city's ability to clear homeless encampments off sidewalks.
Right now, I'm at the San Francisco Court of Appeals, and hundreds of people earlier today showed up to argue passionately over a federal injunction that would restrict the city's ability to clear homeless encampments. Mayor London Breed spoke to crowds calling the encampments a humanitarian crisis. We also heard from city supervisors, including Matt Dorsey, who called out the Homelessness Coalition as being an adversary rather than a partner. Take a listen to more of what they had to say.
But we know from what we're seeing, and certainly we know from a lot of the people who are losing their lives to this, that a significant portion of people who are losing their lives to drug overdoses right now are unsheltered homeless people. So it is a convergence of factors that is resulting in, it is a humanitarian crisis.
When you take away a homeless person's place to stay, when you criminalize homelessness without providing shelter, that is cruel and unusual punishment, and that is unconstitutional.
But there was a bit of a clash between the two sides, and at one point we could hear opposing chants at just about the same level, with those in favor of upholding the injunction, demanding more help for mental health and addiction services. A judge is hearing oral arguments today, and we'll expect to hear from the Coalition on Homelessness later today.
And many small business owners are on the side of the city, saying the encampments scare off customers and hurt their bottom line.
They're scared to come here. I heard a lot of people. They come and they eat. They put a lot of nice review on Yelp. But at the same time, they say, oh, the rough area, neighborhood. You know, I cannot do anything about it.
He adds that while he does feel sorry, as well as a little anger toward the situation, he's mostly just desensitized to the whole thing.
Okay, let's get the first alert meteorologist, Jessica Birch, with a look outside.
As we take a look at satellite imagery from yesterday into today, we're starting to see that storm system really wring out the last of its moisture as it moves off into the east. That was the leftovers that we saw earlier this week from Tropical Storm Hillary. But now we're left with high pressure building its way in, and that's going to dry us up, and boy, is it going to warm us up as we head into our afternoon hours today. Today is actually one of the hottest days of this week. We're sitting in the 70s along the coast with sunshine right around the corner into our afternoon hours. And to add to that, we're also going to be heating up down into the Santa Clara Valley into the 90s today. This is going to be a very warm setup for us, even as we extend off into the East Bay with upper 90s anywhere from Antioch down into Brentwood. We're also warming up into the 80s today just in San Francisco. So if you thought yesterday it was sunny and warm, oh, you're in for a treat today. Take it slow this afternoon, especially if you live off into the East Bay. Enjoy that AC that you spend so much money on anyways. Here's what we're looking at for the next 6 to 10 days. The Climate Prediction Center is still showing above normal temperatures. We'll cool down a little bit into this weekend, but temperatures still, no matter what, sitting above average for the rest of the month of August.
Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao is back in the Bay after her trade trip to Vietnam, and she's coming back to a city that's seeing an increase in crime. At a press conference yesterday, she responded, defending her efforts, saying her office is trying to improve programs like Ceasefire, while continuing to expand collaborations with the governor and the Alameda County Sheriff's Office.
This is not unique to the city of Oakland. This is happening in many cities across the whole nation. Of course, we know that change doesn't happen overnight, but you will see that by next year, once we are in full implementation, that there are going to be some changes.
These comments come nearly a month after Oakland's NAACP chapter urged the city to declare a state of emergency over crime. According to city data, violent crime in Oakland is up by 18% as compared to last year at this time.
Fire crews in Southern California are stepping up their search efforts for a woman reported missing in the wake of Hillary. This is in the foothills of the San Bernardino Mountains. Half a dozen mobile homes in that area, they have been destroyed. And 8 candidates, they will take the stage in the Republican race to the White House, but the frontrunner will be a no-show for tonight's first Republican presidential debate. It will happen in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and former President Trump is attempting to steal the spotlight away from that event with a pre-recorded interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. The former president is expected to be in Georgia tomorrow to surrender to authorities on charges of trying to overturn the state's 2020 election results.